Yes, good morning. Peace and blessings. Excuse me. I just want to continue on from where I left off. With the war on masculinity. Demonic agenda that we're currently going through. In this climate, the social climate. As of 2020. So war on masculinity. I touched base a little bit on pause on Jezebel spirits. I just want to further elaborate on Ahab. Ahab's spirit is predominantly in males. The Jezebel spirit can also be in men. It is most likely in, bisexual men. Most likely homosexual. In no way a derogatory, statement. Is just, based on my biblical belief. This is not a hate speech, towards men like that, which they seek to, most likely believe by things that I say. But it is what it is. The Ahab spirit, as they say, a great quote, the hyena gets hungry as the lion eats. They're hyena men, they're down low, homosexual, effeminate, controlled by Jezebels, so they see you and the light that you carry, as, you're like their main nemesis, because you stand out from the crowd. A beta male, cannot understand how someone can, be themselves without caring about what others think, feel, do. It's like putting a bullet in their brain mentally. They cannot process it. They can't understand it because they're beta of mentality, of mindset. It's something they can't comprehend. And on this spiritual walk, you're going to run into a lot of hyenas, as I like to call them, thanks to a brother, named Mark the Messenger on YouTube, a smart brother, with the gift of discernment like myself. He really, set me forward, of course Yahweh, but he definitely, set me straight, pause on a lot of things, spiritually, to be honest, which me and Yah will take it from here. But you're gonna run into a lot of hyena men, minded, beta male, effeminate, bisexual, men on your spiritual journey, walk as chosen or as just a lover of Jesus' teachings. It is what it is. You cannot stop it. This world is demonically programmed where at least maybe 80% of the men you're gonna come across are, that, and the rest of the 20 are lovers of God. It is what it is. There is no more alphas. It is what it is. Especially in America, I'm just speaking for America. Population. I don't really know about other countries, but in America, at least 80% of the males are bi, effeminate. Ahab, Jezebel, spirited men. Down low, bisexual. And they see the light that you carry, as their main, threat in life. Because they're very insecure. Mommy issues. Love-hate relationship with their mother. Mommy issues. They hate females. They're basically men. They're basically females in men's bodies. They don't know how to cope with it. They blame God. They seek to blame God, for their, mindsets, but they skip over, their mother and their father who actually raised them, to become the men they are. They'll skip over, their actual, physical parents, to curse, God and, curse God through you, by spiritually attacking you, which, I can't comprehend, but it is of a weak, cowardice, hyena, actions. So you can only assume, what a hyena male will do. This is hyena, cowardice actions. They need 50, hyenas in a pack, just to get one gazelle. When a lion can just do it on his own, as chosen as a lover of God, you are the lion of your society, and when a lion eats, the hyenas are hungry. You have to deal with it. You have to realize that you have to. And I can't stress this enough. We have to pray for the gift of discernment. Today I ran into a situation of a hyena situation. I just, thanks through Yah, through the grace of Yah, I was just able to discern it. Like, oh, this is a hyena situation. It is what it's a lot. It'd be a lot of hyena situations that I've dealt with in the past, and most likely, we'll have to to a certain extent, but just not really personally anymore. Before it was a lot of personal attacks of the hyenas, of these hyena men, these bisexual, feminine men, and the light that I carry, that bothers their demons. It is something you're gonna have to go through. You cannot stray from it. You can't change it. As they say, you can't change people. You just have to change who you are, and that's what I did. I put the groundwork in to change who I am. I'm just a lover of God, 100%, 110%, and nothing will change about that, about my mindset, about how I feel. I'd rather die than to not serve God. So I feel like people gonna have to either come with the grips of that or just stay away. And most likely you're gonna run into people who are of demonic strongholds or full demon possession, and they'll leave you alone because they'll realize, it's not all males, and I don't want to just throw every male, under demonic strongholds, or full demon possession under the bus, because some of them realize, which I've got, thanks to y'all, I got to get discernment to see. Some of them realize, like, he's just very spiritual. He's not really, like us. They'll leave you alone, to be honest, for the most part. And it's a good, maybe, I'll say, it's like a good 70-30. You get that 30% of the males who just leave you alone, for the most part. And they'll just realize, like, he's spiritual. He ain't really falling for the okey doke, as they say, and stuff like that, of a narcissistic, spiritual attack, and then they'll leave you alone. But the 70 of these hyenas, the hyenas are the 70, who will seek to do nothing but discredit you because they're mad, at their mother, they're mad at their father, they're mad at, the sexual orientation, they're mad at themselves, they hate themselves, they hate the fact that they like men and women. Well, they don't even like women. They hate, I don't, it's complicated, but just look up narcissism, and you'll fully understand the demonic things these people go through. Look up narcissism and what narcissists do. That's what these people are, narcissists. Females and men body. That's literally, what you're dealing with these hyena men. And if you got the gift of discernment, you'll see through it really clear. You'll see it 50 miles away. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. I see it 50 miles away. I can tell. You can see spirits. As they say, you'll see people's spirit. And don't let nobody, block your blessings, as they say. Always defend yourself, but don't fall into the trap, that Satan, don't fall into no traps that the devil will lay out for you. You have to have the gift of discernment. Sometimes it's the time to, put your foot in Satan's behind, and sometimes it's time to just be like, oh, what is a trap? Because Satan always got traps for you on your path, because he understands that your blessing is here. He understands that you're going to get blessed. He understands that you are of God. He understands that you're going to bring people close to God. And, he wishes to, block you on that pathway, on this narrow path, to Yahweh's, heavenly paradise. And you must not allow, these hyena niggas, excuse my language, these hyena niggas, who are hungry, and they can't, survive on their own. So they need a pack, to stop you from eating, the spiritual food, and that's what it's about, the spiritual journey of the narrow path. You have to eat this spiritual food and gather your pride to the heavenly paradise. And you must at no cost, and let these hyena niggas, stop you from bringing your pride to heaven. Because you are a lion. The lion, as they say, the Lion of Judah. You are a lion. You have the fire of Christ burning in you. And that's why God chose you. Because he understands people's hearts and mindsets and their spirits. And he probably knows you'll be relentless in your service to him. And you have to realize that if you are chosen this for a reason, it is not about your past. It is not about nothing but the reason and the fact that God sees your spirit, your soul, who you are. And he understands that you will be relentless in your praise to him. And you'll seek to pay homage to him by bringing people close to him physically, in this physical realm. And that's what it's about, paying homage to him, because we already have our keys to heaven, by birth, by just the people we are, by the choices we made, by the self-reflection, that we did, the work that we put in, these empty vessels, these demonic puppets, these demonic agents, these people on the demonic strongholds, full demon possession, they have never put any spiritual work in their lives. And it shows, because they're under demonic possession, strongholds, and it shows. And you are a daily reminder of that, and they hate it. It's something you have to deal with, these hyena people, these hyena men, Ahab spirits. You have to realize that they cannot touch you. They cannot physically harm you in no way, shape, or form possible, unless you fall into the devil's traps and allow them to, it's the devil's traps, the devil's trickery, foolishness, And even if, people, like a few months ago, I was attacked, because, I was just, talking to a few women in the store. These hyena niggas, excuse me, got mad as they usually do because they're bi. They don't naturally like women. They just use women for, whatever, narcissistic needs they need. So, they automatically get offended, when you talk to women, because women just, women are very psychologically savvy. They understand, like, this man's heterosexual. Like, he probably actually likes us. You're good energy around women, because you have the light. So they attacked me, and, it was one of Satan's, plans and roadblocks. Maybe most likely, with the gift of discernment, I realized it was to get me to curse God or have fear, but I just got up laughing because I understand, like, that was just Satan. I went on a 3-year, span, talking, crap to pagans, and nobody ever touched me. So obviously it was just a test. Everything else from this point going further is going to be a test. Obviously, I don't think people really, mentally, I don't think people's brains function as well as they believe they do. So they probably would never be able to understand that. But I just do. So my brain functions at a high clip. If this was, the NBA, I have a Kobe mindset. I'm just gonna do whatever it takes. I'm gonna keep practicing till my jumper, start hitting swishes. Till I'm dunking on every center. I'm gonna block every shot. And we gonna go to the championship. Yahweh, Jesus, and me. And it is what it is. And cloak yourself with the armor of God. Stay away from these hyena niggas, excuse me, because they are hyena, they're beta, they're effeminate, and they're always going to hate you because you got the light, and they hate somebody that's different because they all want to be carbon copy clones of each other in a loop, to be miserable. There's a lot of problems with these men psychologically, not even just spiritually, psychologically. There's a lot of problem with these men, so just stay away from them, period. It's just bad energy for your soul. And they be connected to. And it's a good 30% of men who are just of a non-spiritual upbringing. So, maybe they got under demonic, and they'll just leave you alone because they understand, like, this guy is spiritual. He's not going for it. He's not with the okie dokies, or he's just a good guy. It'll be the 30%. So, don't get too discouraged. But it's a heavy, strong 70% of these effeminate, Ahab-spirited, bisexual, effeminate, hyena niggas, and you have to just practice the gift of discernment to weed them out, or just set yourself apart. Either way it will work. Cloak yourself with the armor of God. Stay a prayer warrior. Always pray to Yah. This is war. That we're going through. You gotta wage war with the devil, and stomp your neck, your foot on the devil's neck every day until you get your blessing from Yah. And God bless.